Hello, I'm Danusia Malina-Derben, host of Parents Who Think. In this episode, I'm joined by world-renowned therapist and author Marisa Peer to explore what might be the most powerful message a parent or a person can ever internalize. I am enough. Together, we talk about how feelings of inadequacy take root, how parenting culture feeds perfectionism, and why the words we repeat become the architecture of our lives. Marisa doesn't just talk mindset. She offers clear, practical tools to shift the way we think, speak, and show up. It's simple, it's profound, and it just might change everything. So, what do you do? What do you do with people when, because it sounds like there's so many of us that, struggle with this race to be enough.
So what I recommend is, listen to your dialogue, first of all. Do you wake up and go, oh, look at my hair. Oh, my God, look at the state of the house. I haven't done this. And I know as a single parent myself, that compared to my child is a genius, or my child can read at 4, or mine can play the piano, or mine can speak French. And it's very easy for that competitive at the school gates. And then, of course, your kids pick it up.
Yes.
I've always believed you should not reward achievement. You should reward effort, because some of the less gifted kids are working so much harder than the ones they can rock up and without even studying. And so I've always believed that when you give one child a prize, what about the other 25 kids in the class who never get a prize? You're saying to them, you're not enough. So I work with clients and uncover that belief, and then I show them how to get over it. And how to get over it is much quicker than how you ever got it. And that is to write it on your mirrors in lipstick, in eyeliner, so that you see it every day. Put it on your fridge in fridge magnets so that your children see it. And every day say to them, you're enough. So when your kid comes and goes, Mom, I got a D in French, you go, that's a shame. And I'd love you to put more. But, you're still a great kid. You're good enough. So writing it all over your house, your children will start to pick up the message, because when you see something every day, when you hear it, read it, write it, the mind lets it in. It's a bit like having a mother who says all the time, we're going to get sick because we were out in the rain, or if you go out with wet hair, you'll get a cold. And when you start to believe something, it becomes true, whether it's good or bad. But how great it is when you get your mind to believe that you're enough. And I also think that you should take your passwords, whatever they are, and put the word I'm enough in there too. So it's squiggle, squiggle, number, dot, I'm enough. Because by typing it out every day, writing it, reading it, your mind learns by repetition. You cannot help but let it sink in like lotion on very dry skin. It will go in and it will start to nourish you.
I remember you telling me this some years ago about just place it everywhere in your life. Put it everywhere. And I've done that, Marisa. So my children grow with that. It's profoundly changed the way that I feel about myself. And it's wonderful. So I absolutely would recommend what you're saying, because you're right. After years and years of deeply embedded messages come to being enough, it can be relatively simple if we make it a habit. It's that habitual, hear it, read it, write it.
Yeah, put it on your phone alerts. We all have phone alerts, the ping. I still have it to this day. At 8 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night, my phone pings with them. So one of my clients, I love this, she put it on her children's pillow. I thought it was so great. So when they go to bed at night and wake up, it's the first thing and the last thing they see, I'm enough, and they sleep on that. I thought, wow, I hadn't thought of that. What a great place to put it. I've got it on T-shirts. You can have it on your underwear. You can have it. There's not enough places for you to have it. You could put it anywhere, make some art out of it, but really go for it, because its strength is in its simplicity, and it does make the most profound.
So tell me the difference, if there is any, between men and women around being enough.
Well, it's very different, because men have always been judged on what they can do. We've always judged men on what they deliver. So women always get judged on what they look like first. And so women have always had this pressure. We have to also deliver, but we also have to look amazing. Our hair has to be done. Our makeup has to be done. And so it's very unfair for women, because they've got to do everything. They've got to look amazing, be amazing mothers, have an amazing home. And I think women have a lot more guilt than men. It's really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. This multi-performance, these layers of having to perform in multiple ways, such a lot of stress.
But I have to say, with all this going on, actually men are now starting to get the same issue. What women suffer from is what I call overexposure to false images of female perfection, but it's actually hitting men. So I've seen a huge rise in men with bulimia, eating disorders, exercise compulsive, dissatisfaction with themselves, and depression, because they are all judged on what they look like. Is to be that way. And because we didn't have magazines like FHM or GQ where a guy was on the cover with a perfect six pack, which is really, to have a body like that, that's a full-time job.
I'm wondering what your journey to being enough has been like.
And it's hard for me to look back at who I was. I was the most insecure, self-conscious person you could ever imagine. I couldn't even think about what I do now, which is addressing thousands of people from the stage and doing hypnosis from the stage to thousands of people, working with, top politicians. My life is so different to the life I thought I would have. And it's all because I was able to believe in myself. When no one else did it, I did it. And I still see clients who come in and they kind of want to hand over their unmet needs. I have all these unmet needs. I didn't get love. I didn't get attention. I didn't get praise. I was never celebrated. Who's going to do that now? I need to find a great guy or a great girl. I'm like, no. You have to do it. You have to celebrate yourself, praise yourself, and believe in yourself before anyone else can ever do that.
Yeah.
And it isn't true that I suddenly believed in myself because I wrote best-selling books and I worked on television. They came about because I made a choice to believe in myself. And in fact, it's not a hard choice because when you have a brain, which we all have, you have a choice. Every day, here's the choice. Rationalize why you feel so bad and your life is terrible, or talk yourself out of it. And you can choose every day to be negative. You can choose to go, my life's awful, things don't work out, my kids are driving me crazy, I can't find a partner to stand by me. Or you can choose to say, my life's amazing and wonderful and getting better and better. It is a choice. But the thing you can't choose is what happens to your body when you go into the negative, when you slip into the blaming, beating yourself up. Because when you're negative, you invite illness. So I say that to everyone. Rationalize why you feel bad or talk yourself out of it. Make the second choice. You can choose to be negative or positive. Make the second choice. And remember, you make the first one. What you can't choose is what it does to yourself. How much illness and depression you invite when you go into that negative, everything's terrible, I'm a loser, nothing ever works out, because that isn't true. But if you say it enough, you'll make it true.
Yes, absolutely. Let's break some of this down. So one of the important things is that, the big key is say the words you've always wanted to hear. And that in your life journey, you made a choice to believe in yourself. And from that, everything that you now live and all the impact that you're having in thousands of people's lives is because of that intentional choice to believe in yourself. Because actually, when nobody else believes in yourself, there's only you that can, at the bottom line. And you can choose to be positive, or we all can choose to be negative. And as you say, the negative, when we choose to be negative, our body believes it. Our body listens, our brain tells our body, and it begins to degenerate. So actually, it's an incredibly powerful reason to choose to be positive. And then you create from that positivity.
Yes, because the mind loves what is familiar. So if you make that familiar, our mind is wired to prefer what's familiar. That's the fact. But here's another fact. You can make anything familiar, including praise, and you can make anything unfamiliar, including criticism. And one of the best ways to have high self-esteem is to really praise yourself, to increase that and to decrease criticizing yourself, because that will boost your self-esteem like nothing else. It isn't other people's praise that makes your self-esteem grow. It's your own praise, because your mind knows that other people, when they say, oh, you're amazing, you're so great, they have an agenda. Could you stay late and finish this project. But when you are praising you, your mind thinks, well, it has to be true because you have no agenda. But when you're criticizing you, it also believes this must be true because you have no agenda.
Yes. Oh, it's so good, Marisa. I just love what you're saying. And I know it to be so true, really true. My life changed for the better when kind of pivoted one year, some years ago, when I decided to marry myself. I had been married, but I'd chosen to divorce. And I thought, why am I hanging about for this experience that I think somebody else is going to create with me? And so, I put on a scarlet ball gown, a really big ball gown, and went through a ceremony in New York. And I didn't actually do it alone. There were a number of other women that I knew who also wanted to do this. And we all wore the most incredible rainbow dresses and celebrated the beauty, and I don't mean the external beauty, but the sacred inner beauty of each one of us. For me, doing that was a very powerful message to myself that I am enough. And as we journey through life, I find, certainly in my life, there are experiences like that add on. It's not as sudden as you said. You didn't suddenly wake up and kind of bam, I'm enough. It's iterative. It unfolds and builds. And for me, having the triplets actually has been a very big piece that has built on my enoughness. And they've been responsible for a huge amount of growth. They really have, because I've had to choose to believe in myself, because it's under such extreme conditions, which I know that we'll all agree triplets are extreme. They will take anybody to their edge, certainly in the first 2-3 years. And I had to make a choice to be grateful and to actually see the joy in it, that it wasn't all drudge, because it isn't. We can make it. We can.
That's again, it's nice, isn't it? I can choose to go, oh my God, this is a nightmare. This is hell. And the word, okay, this is hell. I'm like, what? My baby keeps me up at night. But that's someone else's fantasy dream come true. Who said, oh, it's hell in the store. No, hell in the store is being in a store in Zimbabwe where there's no food, and even the Russian haven't got any money to buy it. So,
yes,
traffic hell. We call our children hell. We call the commute hell. We call our job hell. And it was, again, the mind will lock onto whatever you tell it. What you present to your mind will present right back to you. And you keep saying work is hell. It's going to give you an answer to get you away from work. When you say, this baby is driving me insane, it's killing me, your mind's going to make sure you don't have another one. When you say it's utter joy and bliss, then you get joy and bliss. So be aware that what you present to your mind, it will present back to you. Present it some positive stuff. What would I have given 20 years ago to have this problem?
Yes. I love the words, I am a joy to love. I am a joy to love, especially for women who are yearning to be in a partnership of some kind, a romantic relationship. I'm a joy to love. It's like, yeah. And it becomes so. That's the thing. It's so powerful because our brains pick it all up and create from there. So what we feed it is so important.
Everything starts with a thought. And that's what you have to change. You have to change the thinking, which will change your entire life.
Well, there we have it. So we have to change our thinking and everything in our life will change. Honestly, Marisa, it's been such a pleasure. This conversation is mind-bogglingly so on the money in terms of what we need to do to create better lives and create more importantly, to be happy inside and at peace with ourselves and love ourselves.
And I would want to have that. If you go to my website, marisapeer.com, we give away all the time. We have at least 3 programs we give away. One is to change your relationship with money. One is to grow your self-esteem. And I think the other is to allow you to attract love. But if any of your listeners feel like they don't have love or success or wealth, go to my website, marisapeer.com, and take these free programs. There's no tricks. I want to give this stuff away because I want everyone to see that you can go from nothing to everything. And it all starts with a thought.
What I love about this conversation is how Marisa takes the intangible, self-worth, confidence, peace, and makes it something we can practice, something we can wire in. If you've been waiting for external proof that you're doing okay, this is your reminder you already are. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and as ever, be kind to yourself.